up, YouTube? It's your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you. It's been a month of pain, anguish, heartache, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, y'all. The draft is coming up, and we've got a friend here that's been on here a couple of times. We collaborated together. Amir, what was it? Back in November, was it?
Let's see. We did your interview in, I want to say it was like mid-October or end of September, and then we did a little collaboration with D-Notes and during the bye week.
So yeah, the third time is the charm. Well, they've all been charms since then, but a lot has happened with the Redskins, and what we're really here to do is we're going to break down the draft. Who we think the Redskins should take. They probably won't take, but you know, this is why they play these games out, and that's why they draft these players. Just a little side note to everyone. I appreciate the views, the comments, the love, the hate from my last video, my rant, as you would say. And I really do appreciate that because, like I said, I'm not always right. I said when I see opinions that folks see, they might see something different than I see. You know, it's like this is the reason why we say tomato or tomato. It depends on where you're at. And I mean, I really appreciated some of the comments I got to. I appreciate it, and the follows that I got from it made it probably the second or third biggest video I've had here so far in the last probably year and some change. And I appreciate that, guys, and the love. And if you disagree with me, let me know. It's all love, in my opinion. Skins fans came to my aid. I had some Eagles fans come to my aid. I even had Skins fans hating on it. But it's all right, though. That's what we're here for. But I will ask this question. And, Amir, I'm going to get your thoughts on that process that let Scott McCloughan go as well. I can't even speak right now. But I just thought that sometimes, you know, it's not okay the way the team's been ran the last couple of years, the last 20 some odd years. You know, whether it's a personal issue you have against someone, whether it is rumors. I'm just going to be honest with you. The DC sports media, I'll be honest with you, they might not be as trustworthy. They're more trustworthy than the folks that work there in the regular news in DC. I'll be honest with you with that. I tell you one thing: the one person you can go ask is Danielle Rossini from ESPN. But I'll leave that alone, and I want to get your thoughts even before we get into this draft prognostication. What was your thoughts on you know, Scott McCloughan leaving or being forced out? Just how you felt that day when you found it out. I know how you felt, but just talk to me a little bit about that.
All right, so yeah, I definitely saw it coming from when the Senior Bowl and they were allowing him to talk, and the writing on the wall was there, and which as fans we didn't want to see it, but it was there. And then after the combine, and he still wasn't with the team, with being in free agency and the pre-talks to free agency. And it was just, the loss of it was just all compounded with the loss of Jackson, Garcon, and Baker, which we all loved. And then they decided to also release Jean-Francois later on. They re-signed Ziggy Hood, they brought in some guys from Oakland and Dallas. The best free agent signing, I think, so far, though, was definitely Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
Because of him being a former quarterback, just like how Ryan Tannehill used to be a wide receiver, and Ryan Tannehill has always had a very good repertoire with his wide receivers. Terrell Pryor, being a former quarterback as a wide receiver, is going to be able to help the wide receivers in itself, as well as help Kirk and him to get on the same page, just from a quarterback standpoint.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Amir. It's like I said, you know, Pierre Garcon, I don't think to keep him in Washington, to pay him that much money like he's 25 instead of 30 and then Deshaun Jackson, home run hitter. Sometimes he's hit or miss. He really came on late last season, but sometimes, is it too late there in that point? And then also Chris Baker, there were rumors that he may have been a little bit lazy. I'm not going to let that dampen what the man did. Some people may think he's above average talent, getting superstar money, or maybe even high tier money there, and he might not be anything better than a role player on most elite defenses. And like I said, with Terrell Pryor, I think that opens the game up. You've got a quarterback thrown to a former quarterback. You've got the ability to even maybe stretch, if you get a speed demon, to stretch the field on a gadget play, which would be awesome. And I really like that. The guys that they got on the defensive line, a lot of these guys are somewhat heard of, but not really. I don't know if we spent too much money to get these fellas, but time will tell. I like the diamond in the rough, though. I like is DJ Swearinger, and I think he may be able to take off in this defense. I think they get some physicality. He was there. He learned under he's an offensive-minded coach, but Bruce Arians doesn't keep you around that long. And if you've seen that the Arizona Cardinals special that was on Amazon, he doesn't put up with nonsense. And maybe DJ Swearinger's learned that after his last few stops in the NFL. And it looks like Rashad Breel was very happy with this signing. Two guys that I believe they went to the same high school. And looking forward to seeing him there and seeing what he can do. And also the guy from Buffalo, Brown. A lot of people are not talking about him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Zach Brown and his band. And hopefully the defense will be his band. And we'll see some chicken fried Eli Manning and Carson
Wentz. There we go.
And Dax Prescott there. So, I like that. I almost forgot about Zach Brown. But, yeah, I think there were some nice free agency pickups there. And, it's sad to see those guys go, but, maybe where they were all north of 30 or approaching 30 or stone throw away, maybe it may have been time to move on there.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, this is a mock draft special, my friend. And Redskins do have 10 picks. You can see from the graphic listed on the screen. We have picks number 17, 49, 81, 114, 124, 154, 201, 209, 220, and 235.
And that is where we will begin. Now, and I told you, and a lot of people know this if they saw the interview with Burgundy Fly Guy. I'm not the best draft nut in the world, but I did try to make give it the old college try there, because it loses my attention after the first 3 rounds. I will have instant reaction to every draft pick that the Redskins make throughout the first 2 days. I'll say that, and then when it starts to get compiled there, I'll just do it on the last day. I'll do a video for that. But I will let you go ahead. You have 3 guys that you have in mind at the number 1 spot. And if we're thinking the same people, I might have to come over there and we're going to have a discussion. We're going to have a discussion either way. But I might have to come to you personally and we'll have a discussion about it. But who is your number 1 pick right now that the Skins should take at number 17?
Okay, so for the viewers who don't know how we discuss this, basically what we're doing is I'm making a list of draft picks. Franchise is making a list of draft picks. If you want, you can vote on it.
Yeah.
See who had the better draft. So, without further ado, I have 3 guys that I think are going to be there at 17. It just depends on who the Redskins will take. Who they should take is a guy that's been slipping in the draft, Jonathan Allen. He's been slipping a lot. Defensive end out of Alabama. He's been slipping a lot in drafts. There's worry about he has weak shoulders and some health issues. So he's been slipping a lot in drafts. A guy that they need to take, but won't take, just like they won't take Jonathan Allen. Safety to Bill Peppers.
Yes.
Your guy is DJ Swearinger.
Yes.
I personally don't believe that much in Swearinger. I think with the right coaching, he's a decent safety. I don't think he's an exceptional safety. Or something we haven't had since number 21 went up into the beyond.
Right.
Who the Redskins in my pick at number 17, and he's gonna be there. Running back Christian McCaffrey from Stanford.
My man, that's who I had. My man, yes, my man, yes. That's who I was. Oh my gosh, yes, my man. He better be there at 17. I'm telling you, I love this guy. Oh my goodness, yes, I love it. I'll let you explain why, and then I'll go into why. Why.
So you got that same pick. Awesome. So Court, my reasoning behind this, our offense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got guys at the helm. We got Cousins. His arm can deliver it in Jay Gruden's system like no other. We have Jameson Crowder. We have Terrell Pryor. Josh Doxson is healthy now. We got Jordan Reed. We got Vernon Davis back on a 3-year deal. We got Chris Thompson. We got Rob Kelly. Now, as good as Rob Kelly was last year, I think he kind of hit his ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that explosive speed. Mm-hmm. Maybe he cuts off wind dreads. He does, but he's got a little wind drag there.
There you go.
People pull him down by the hair too. So didn't do that. He breaks away for a couple touchdowns. But with McCaffrey, our offense becomes off the charts outstanding.
There you go. Come on now, talk to me.
He can line up. I was watching film on him the other day, and he can line up. This guy lines up all the way, all over the field. He can line up with a receiver. He can line up in the backfield, line up with fullback. He catches the ball like a wide receiver does, and his speed and his vision, his ball carrier vision is absolutely is like a 99 on Madden.
There you go.
That's the best way I can describe it. And he is elusive. And the reason why he's going to fall to 17, and I hate playing the race card, it's because he's white. He is a white running back. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why he's falling. It's the same kind of thing as if there's a black quarterback.
Right. I agree with all that. I just think he's a Swiss Army knife. You can put him back there at running back. You can put him at a receiver position. You can put him in special teams as well. I think if you need something on the punt return, I think you can get him there, or kick return. Mm-hmm. If you need a spark in the offense, Jay Gruden needs a player like this going into this draft. I think going into this year, because no matter what that contract says, he needs something that's going to spark. And Bruce Allen too. They need something that's going to spark this fan base, because the fan base right now is a little split on the direction the team's going in that regard. I think we've calmed down because, we are human, and instant reaction is, for the buzz factor. But I really do like this guy. His dad was a wide receiver for many years in the NFL, won a couple of Super Bowls with the Denver Broncos, and I think he was in New York. That's where he started his career. I think he won a Super Bowl with the Giants as well, Ed McCaffrey. And he's been around football. He's been around great people since he was a kid, whether it was when Ed was playing in Denver, where he learned from Mike Shannon. He could go sit there, watch his dad play, watch Mike Shanahan coach him. Then he went to one of the great schools in football, in college football, and Stanford played under a great coach in Dave Shaw that gives him a lot of credibility. And it is like you said, he's dropping. The same reason why Deshaun Watson might be dropping is because they don't fit the bill on the outside, and you know what that is. Sometimes that's the color card, and I mean it's 2017. As sad as that is, you know, and I'll admit I had my apprehensions to him in the beginning, but I really do like this pick. I think he can make Kirk Cousins better. He will free up Jordan Reed. He'll free up Terrell Pryor, because you're going to have to. Redskins really didn't have anything. I think Malcolm Kelly, not Malcolm Kelly, excuse me, Rob Kelly is what Marcus Mason was back in 2009. Mm-hmm. He was a good player in the moment, but he really didn't. He really wasn't capable of much. I think he's no better than a backup running back. He can get you some yards, but he did hit his ceiling, and I think that was proven in a lot of those games down the stretch when they needed him to come out and run the ball. But I like that pick. I did have Peppers down there, and I also had Deshaun Watson just because of the quarterback situation. I think he'd be the best quarterback available, proven winner, almost won back-to-back national championships there.
Right.
But I like the pick of McCaffrey. That's what I'm going to go with for my guy, and we'll see how it goes. I know Carolina's had some rumbling on him. I think Denver did as well too. So we'll see how it pans out there.
Definitely so. We have to trade up to get him.
Yeah. And we agreed on no trades, though.
Oh, that's true. For our scenario, yeah. I'm just saying, in real life, they may have to trade up to get them.
Right. Oh, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And then I think we'll see, but at 2, who do you have?
At 2, okay, so we went offense in round 1. In round 2, you know, we need to upgrade the defense for sure. Mm-hmm. And arguably you can do that in round 1. For sure you can do it in round 2 because of how deep this draft is in the defensive players. Round 2, I got defensive lineman Malik McDowell from Michigan State. And he has a nose for the ball, knows how to stop the run, which is one of our biggest weaknesses last year.
Right.
Well, that's the reason why Norman couldn't excel the way he needed to. And same thing with Breland, why they couldn't be the tandem that they can be. Some of it was pettiness from Breland, from what I heard. Other is that they couldn't stop the run. So you can't stop the run, you throw all day on the corners, no problem.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly that the fact that they should go, keyword being should go defense, but I think they'll still stay offense here. I think they may look at a quarterback, and I think they might go to the great state of Texas. And I think you know where I'm going here with that.
With Mr. Mahomes?
Yes, I do think Mahomes is. I like that pick there at in the second round. I think the quarterback position won't get ignored because as much as people say they trust going into the future with Colt McCoy, come on now. Come on, like I mean, Colt McCoy is a great backup quarterback. No disrespect to the guy, but he's proven in 2014. He proved in his time with Cleveland that pretty much he's an okay, but he's not a starter in the NFL, and I wouldn't trust him going into the 2018 season as a starter if he does stay there. So I'd really like this Mahomes kid there at this in the second round. If they pick him there, who's to know? But I mean, the last couple of drafts have been unpredictable as far as the Burgundy and Gold goes. You know, looking at last year with Doxson, the year before that with Brandon Sheriff, people were saying, hey, maybe Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams might be the guy to pick there. And then you had some guys that were like, Josh Doxson, really? Like, it, you know, so we'll see. But I think somebody who can sit behind Kirk Cousins, learn, soak it up, learn with Matt Cavanaugh being there and Kevin O'Connell as the new offense coordinator and the quarterbacks coach. I think that they will have a pet project there.
All right, sounds good.
But then we move down to that third round pick, and this is where I got lost. This is where I got lost in the third round. So I'm trying to see who the Redskins can take there. So like I said, I'm gonna defer to you on this one, and
All right.
and let you break it down for the people because you have watched more film than I have. I have probably watched maybe 3 or 4 hours of film. I know you probably watched a whole lot more than I have on some of these guys. So.
No worries. So round 3, pick number 81 overall. It's pick number 17 in the third round. I have Ethan Posick out of LSU. He is a treated either a guard or a center. Because I think Spencer Long's a good center. I think he should keep his job. I don't think there's another center out there that can take this job away from him. Unless it's, Jeff Saturday in his prime. I don't know.
Wait a minute now. What'd you say? Who are you comparing him to?
I said, unless, it was Jeff Saturday in his prime.
I was about to say. Yeah. So,
Ethan Posick out of LSU as to be our left guard. Because that's really the only hole in our offensive line is at left guard right now. Yeah. He can play center as well, so in a pinch, if he has to go play center, he can move inside, even more inside rather. Solidify the O-line for years to come.
There you go. I do like that pick on the defensive line there. I was actually looking at a couple of people here earlier on, and now I'm trying to pull him up again. I really like, just to add to the secondary where my picks didn't really correlate to the secondary, you got a little hybrid there in Desmond King in Iowa. I think he might be a good pickup for this team. Somebody you can add back there, maybe somebody that can learn the position there, and maybe you can move him to corner. Maybe he'll be in that slot, or you'll have him up there as a safety. But I really like this pick. That's who I would pick there, and especially he played in one of the best football conference. I think the best football conference last season in the Big Ten there.
Big Ten was very competitive last year.
There were some bruisers there. I mean, you could have argued that three teams could have made it into that to the playoffs there. So, but that's who I like there in that spot. And moving on down to the fourth round, what are you thinking there?
All right, so fourth round. This is pick 114. We got this through a trade with the Jets last year. This is not one of our regular assigned picks.
So it's going to be a high fourth round pick. That's what you're trying to tell us.
This is pick number 7 overall in the fourth round.
Okay.
Now you had a quarterback going in the second round. I have a quarterback going in the fourth round. I have Mr. Nathan Peterman out of Pitt.
I've heard good things about him. They said that he's like he may be a Kirk Cousins. That's
exactly it. Film on this kid, man, is crazy. How much he compares is eerie. How much he compares to Cousins. Played in a pro style offense, so there's no transition there. He has really good feet movement. The only knock I can find is his arm strength, which it's better than McCoy's, but it's about the same as Cousins. Cousins doesn't have the strongest arm out there, but he has good accuracy. He has good feet movement, and loves the play action. Loves the play action pass.
And you gotta love that play. That's what you need, especially in this offense. We've seen over the last couple of years that the Redskins need to are best when they've got play action, and you can pair him with McCaffrey, who's the running back, and the way you can succeed is if you have a good running game there, and it's something. That's why it shocked me so much how the play action worked as well as it did for the Burgundy and Gold this past season. Just the fact of the ineptitude of the running back. So
it's because Kirk Cousins is so amazing at it.
Yeah.
He's like Houdini.
Oh. Yeah, but I mean, that's a good pick, and kind of makes me rethink what I did there at 2. But I really didn't like in the 4th round. I was looking. I'm probably thinking, let's go defense here. I didn't get an opportunity to pull up number 5. I didn't get a chance to actually look through number 4 that much. So I'm going to let you elaborate, see if you had anybody else there at number 4.
Okay, well, so we do have 2 picks in the 4th round. As far as anybody else goes in the 4th round, somebody who may slip to there just because of his unknown. He had a good Senior Bowl. Zay Jones, wide receiver. That may be somebody who slips down there. Maybe a Joe Mixon because of character issues. As far as that goes at pick number 7, for pick number 17 in the 4th round, which is pick 124, 10 spots later, I do have safety Monte Nicholson out of Michigan State. Because I feel we need a safety. We need more depth there. We're gonna have D Hall as a backup to Swearinger. You have Sua making the change from linebacker to strong safety, and so I feel we need another safety there. He ran a good 40 in the combine. He ran a 4.43 40, so he's fast, which speed is always nice. He generate turnovers. He had a good amount of picks and forced fumbles in college. He never had a sack in college, though, so that kind of worries me. And he definitely needs to work on his tackles. He only had a total of about 100 tackles in 3 years at Michigan State.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like you're going with a trend here. You're trying to take away from the Spartans' defense. I think this was is this the second Spartan we had here?
That is the second Spartan.
Yeah.
Trying to make it so we have 300 of them, but
there you go.
we can only get 53 on the roster.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if we're going to get that Spartans team that got shut out by Alabama a couple of years ago.
Right.
We'll see how it goes, and just moving into that 5th round there. It looks like we've got 2 picks. We've got 1 pick, and that one came from New Orleans at 154. And are you thinking offense or defense there?
I'm thinking defense, sir. I am thinking. Well, have you done a little research here? Do you want to? Throw out names?
No, I haven't thrown out.
Do you concede, sir?
I do concede. Like I told you, I said I really looked at the first 2-3 picks, and then I was like, I said I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find who. I said, especially getting lost in there because there's so many players. You can go so many options. So I'm like, I don't, and at the fear of being wrong. I will defer to you, and I will elaborate, and I will just go with my thoughts on it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So at round 5, pick 154, 10th overall in the 5th round, I got linebacker Carl Lawson out of Auburn.
An SEC guy, I like that. I do like him a lot.
Lawson, over his career, Auburn had 14.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Could be a nice project for Mineski.
See,
Whether he plays inside or as a edge rusher.
yeah, and this is what we need. We need somebody at linebacker that's going to play. I think who's going to play two to Zach Brown, and Mason Foster showed that he'll probably be the two and have Will Compton as the backup. But to bring a young guy in there, somebody who, in the vein of maybe like a Perry Riley, who learned the position a little bit and then was like eased in there back in 2010. I think that's a smart pickup there, is to bring somebody in there, a linebacker that you can tutor. The only thing is, does Minuski really have time for a project?
Well, considering that Gruden has 4 years, yeah, I think Minuski has time for a project, especially since he was the linebackers coach last year. Kerrigan had another great year for the first time in a couple of years. And then look at what he was able to do with Trent Murphy.
True, and then look at what happened to Trent Murphy here, which we'll probably get into a little bit later. But
somebody up in that Heisenberg up there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that blue sky, that just that's what got him in trouble there. But I like that pick, and especially even with Trent being out for 4 games this year, it might be he might have to step up, and then with the rumors of what's happening with Junior Gillette as well, you're probably going to need another linebacker.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we move into the 6th round here, and I think we've got a couple of picks. One from that we'll pick at 201, and then the Texans decided to give us a pick at 209.
Yep. All right, so pick number 201 overall, I have defensive end Eddie Vanderdoes, because he doesn't Vanderdon't, out of UCLA. I really like this pick here. He played all 4 years, had a total of 122 tackles, a couple of forced fumbles. I think he got hurt his junior year, and he was redshirted that year. I want to say he only played 1 game. But as a defensive end player, somebody to sit behind the starters, learn it, and see what happens.
Yeah, and especially with that with Matt Ioannidis last year, we thought he would.
The itis?
Yes, the itis. He played like he had the itis a couple of times. I'll never forget watching on these live streams when we watched the game, and Matt Ioannidis comes in and gets pushed back all the time. It's not any fight in his game, and this guy Andy Vanderdoes, or I think a good guy.
Hopefully he doesn't Vanderdon't.
Yeah, or Vander doesn't.
Doesn't.
I mean, gosh, 305. You're talking about, and that's a good size for an end in a 3-4 defense. 6'3". Maybe you can get him in on special teams and get after a kicker or something like that. But he could be something in this league, especially where he comes from, a good program in the Pac-12 and UCLA on the up and up there. So I mean that is that's a nice clean guy there and he looks like a football player. He scared me. I just searched him and he scared the daylights out of me.
He closed your eyes at night tonight, Corey. You see Eddie Vanderdoes. He's like this.
I mean, do you know Washington would take that apart? Like the fan base would just. I feel like we would just like nickname him all kinds of things if he did really well. You can't be a bad player and have a last name like that.
Right.
You can't.
So pick 209. This is the one we got from the Texans. This is part of when the Texans moved up last year. For the Josh Doxson trade, and they took Fuller. I got linebacker Ben Bouloir from Clemson.
All right, a national championship winner.
National championship. He knows how to tackle. And his 46 career games over 4 years, 261 total tackles.
So you're saying that the Redskins had a tackling problem?
I am saying the Redskins have a tackling problem.
Yeah. Of course, we know that illustrated by the linebackers that we were talking about earlier, and it seemed like the whole team had an issue with tackling, and maybe if you can bring a new guy in there, a young guy who knows how to tackle, another dude, I don't know where you're getting these scary looking dudes from, to go up there in the middle. He was a team captain, and that's key. A lot of people don't realize being a team captain. They look at this. I really think the Redskins could have a diamond in the rough if they decide to take this guy in a later round, if he even lasts that long, because that it's just key. A little small guy, he's 6 feet, 238. But I think he can make a difference there. Stick him right in the middle. I would stick him day one if he does well in the preseason. Stick him day one beside Zach Brown and see how he does.
Definitely do it in preseason for sure.
Yeah.
He had 8 sacks in college and a couple of picks, including a pick 6, I believe.
So yeah, I like this dude. The size. What he did, he had a 30-inch vertical, it looks like, and 111 broad jump, and did 28 reps, and don't have his 40 time here, but that's all right. I like that. That's a good pick there for, especially going defense. And like you said, this draft is very deep when it comes to defensive players. And then we get ready to go into
the 7th and final round.
Yeah, and that pick that we got for Derek Carrier, which this pick came up like it seemed like they were like, oh, don't forget the Redskins have this pick, because I don't think a lot of people realized they had it from the 49ers. From Derek Carrier.
Which is pick number 2 in the 7th round, 220 overall. Here I got them taking Jalen Myrick, is a cornerback out of Minnesota. Defended the pass for days. He had 21 passes defended his career in Minnesota. 5 picks, and he can tackle fairly well. Like I said, he had a tackling problem.
Yes. 5'10", 200-pound cornerback, and Myrick 200 pounds, 5'10". So nice size for a corner there. It looks like in the last 2 seasons he had 39% completion rating. So like when people throw it to him, they don't. You're talking about it every 2 out of 3 times. You're not completing the pass on this young man. So. And again,
possibly somebody as a replacement for Breland if Breland leaves.
There you go. And another Big Ten name. So he's battle tested, especially playing teams like Ohio State, Michigan, all those teams in the Big Ten. So I that's another real good pick there. Somebody that the Redskins could use. And it's really this draft. It's going to be about utilizing your picks after, let's be honest, the draft last season I think was a flop. Right now, just looking at it, really get one good player in Stuart Craven's out of there. Josh Doctson.
To be determined.
Yeah, to be determined. Kendall Fuller.
From what he was saying from Sewell Side, I was talking it up. What Terrell Pryor was saying, what Kirk Cousins was saying when they went to work out in Florida with John Gruden sometime last month. It was Cousins, it was Pryor, Doxson was there, Reed was there, Crowder was there, and I think Nate Sudfeld was there too, which is a backup quarterback. And they they Josh Jackson was all over the field. His speed was amazing. He was doing hops for days. He was doing hops like his name was JaVale McGee. For your Warriors fan,
yeah,
go
oh
Golden
gosh.
State.
Oh man, yeah, I remember when JaVale McGee was with my Wizards, so I know him all too well. Shaq and the Fool.
I do think actually it's gonna be just a little side note on unrelated football. I think it's gonna be a Golden State versus Washington finals. I'm just saying.
My man, I like that. People think you're crazy though, because they'll be like, "What about LeBron?" and all. So.
I know you don't like cursing, Corey, but
Yeah.
LeBron's a little bitch.
Oh,
So
oh my man. I'll agree with you. Yeah, but so who is the Mr. Irrelevant of the Redskins?
the Mr. Irrelevant of the Redskins, I have somebody told me before you're from Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have somebody out of Tennessee. I have Mr. Josh Malone, wide receiver.
Look, you know what? I was getting ready to say we hadn't had any wide receivers, and I think in every Jay Gruden draft, have we drafted a wide receiver?
We have.
Yeah. So
we had Ryan Grant.
Mm-hmm.
We had Crowder. We
Yeah.
had Doxson.
Uh-huh.
And I think we're gonna get Josh Malone here. He had a really stellar year last year, 972 yards and 11 touchdowns, averaged 19.4 yards per reception. Per reception. So he's kind of like, but it was only on 50 catches. So he's kind of replacing that D Jackson away. That deep threat.
Yeah.
So he can take the top off, but I do like Crowder's quickness. Crowder is shifty quick and he's sneaky about it. So,
Yeah.
so just as a recap, you and I both agree on Christian McCaffrey for the first round. Second round, you took Patrick Mahomes, quarterback from Texas. I took defensive lineman Malik McDowell of Michigan State. And round 3, you had defensive back Desmond Key out of Iowa. I had guard Ethan Posick out of LSU. From there, you deferred. No way you could win. It's understandable. I'm pretty amazing. I'm usually amazing. I'm usually right when it comes to drafts. I promise I'm usually right.
It's huge.
It's huge. No one can predict drafts like me.
Okay, Mr. President.
Fourth round, I had quarterback Nathan Peterman out of Pitt, safety Monte Nicholson out of Michigan State. In the 5th, we got linebacker Carl Lawson out of Auburn. In the 6th, we got defensive end Eddie Vander Does, hopefully Vander doesn't, out of UCLA. As well as linebacker Ben Bouloir out of Clemson. Round 7, we got cornerback Jalen Myrick out of Minnesota, and we got Josh Malone out of Tennessee.
I like it. Looks like we had. Looks like you had some great picks there. I just sat there and I was like, I am not going to argue with this man. I'm going to listen to him. And you are the draft expert here, so I will call you Mike Mayock. I will call you Charlie Casserly. I will call you anything but Mel Kiper Jr. because I think that any man who saw that Ryan Leaf was better than Peyton Manning doesn't deserve to have any credibility. So I mean, where it is, it's a defensive heavy draft. Where did the Skins struggle at? Defense. Although the free agent pickups, I think there might be. I think we might have a little bit more of Stephen Pias in that draft, not in that draft, but in that free agency class. Rather than these diamonds in the rough that we may acquire, like a Deshaun Jackson who now went to Tampa Bay. But the draft, this is where we're going to have to go defense and. But McCaffrey at 17, if he falls or if he has to trade to get up there, I think you do it. I really do think you do it. I think he can be an elite talent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, hypothetical here.
yeah.
Cleveland's there at number 12, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say McCaffrey's there.
Mm-hmm.
However, whoever I can't remember who's picking at 13.
Is that hold on real quick. I want to say that's 13. Somebody in AFC, I think. Let's see. Let's just take a look and see. I will double check. Who is at 13? It was.
Is it Dolphins?
No, because they made a play. The Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay, so Cardinals they don't need a running back.
Right.
So, who picks at 11?
You have New Orleans at 11.
Okay.
The threat to get McCaffrey would probably be at 8 with Carolina.
Mm-hmm. And who picks at 7?
Give me one moment here. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay. I can see a trade there because they have Melvin Gordon.
Yeah. So that.
I can. Let's just say, hypothetical. Would you, to move up 10 spots from 17 to 7, to get Christian McCaffrey? Would you, one, give up, the 17th overall as a swap, as part of the trade, as well as your round 3 and your first pick in round 4? To move inside the top 10.
To move at the top 10. I'd give up the first. I'd give up the 4. The 3, I'm a little hesitant on to give that up because I think you're setting a precedent saying, because basically what you're saying is this guy is worth 3 draft picks in essence, to be honest. And I think we've seen in the past that no man is really worth that much draft stock.
Well, definitely not 3 number ones.
Right. Well, you know what I'm saying. But I know they're not 3 number ones. I would have to stay. I would have to hold my hand though. That's the only thing. Unless we had some, I just can't. I couldn't pull the trigger on that.
Or the fact that they need the fact that they need a receiver. What if we trade Crowder as part of it? Swap. Just listen. Okay. Swap the first round picks. We keep all of our other draft picks, or we trade Crowder.
Hell, I'll throw in the 3 and send them. I won't. I wouldn't give up Crowder.
Okay.
I wouldn't give up you.
Or would you give up Doxson?
Yes, I would give up Doxson.
You give Doxson over Crowder. Okay.
Because the one thing about Doxson is that concerns me more than anything is his age. He'll be I think he'll be 25 at the end of the season. I want to say, I think so. Let me see here, but I'm pretty sure because he came out a little bit later.
That's right.
And so, you're not really going to get that much. You'll get enough out of him, but I really don't think you're going to get the most. Yeah, so he'll be 25 on December 3rd. So you drafted a guy who was 23 last year in the first round, who's already missed his first season, in essence. So if somebody's stupid enough, just in that regard, if somebody's crazy enough to take that man there, I would give him up. I think you can find a wide receiver again. I would probably, if they say give up Doxson for it, I would do it. Just me though, might sound crazy, but and plus then we'll know who really picked Josh Doxson, if it was Scott McCloughan pick or if it was a Bruce pick.
Yeah, if it was Bruce.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, you see, I think there is going to be a lot of turnover in
Hmm.
in the top in the top the first round of the draft because I think sometimes you're going to see maybe Carolina might try to trade out. Maybe they think they
Hmm.
don't need a running back. Maybe they can deal with Jonathan Stewart for a little bit longer.
Hmm.
You know, what is LA thinking? Are they maybe they might want to go quarterback? Maybe ask Anthony Lynn's like, hey, we can draft a quarterback here. We'll just drop down and we'll draft Philip Rivers replacement.
Yeah.
You really
Because
don't know.
at 17, they could also
Hmm.
Chargers could go to 17 and probably get Trubisky.
Right. And then, well, maybe not at 17. Maybe is Cleveland really thinking? Are they thinking? Are they thinking Mitchell? Or are they thinking Deshaun? That's the only question. Like, who
Hmm.
are they really thinking? And
Yeah.
at that position because they're going to go quarterback with that second pick.
Hmm.
We just don't know who it's going to be yet. But
Yeah.
and granted, we say they are going to go quarterback. Cleveland's done everything so screwed up right now. Maybe the analytics say
It
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me if they went quarterback number one.
yeah. Well, you know, and the stuff that's coming out about Jack and everything.
Hmm.
You know, the fact that he's not very social and that he's had some issues with not talking to certain people in the
Hmm.
media, maybe, and it kind of sets up for like a Demario Williams pick.
Yeah.
If you look back at that, going back forward, do you think Bob McNair would have took Demario Williams again? In 2000, looking back at it 10 years later,
Hmm.
I wouldn't have because I think he played more like a mid round, second round pick instead of playing as a top tier overall pick in the 2006 draft.
Yeah.
And we'll be honest, that draft wasn't that good anyway. You're talking about a draft that gave you like Matt Leinart and Ted Ginn Jr., but I mean, so it's a little hit or miss there in that first round.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
I am down to 1%, my friend. So
okay.
I definitely enjoyed our conversation
All right.
here,
I did too, my friend, and as always,
as we
it's a
usually
pleasure.
do. It's always been a pleasure, Core.
Yeah.
Um, check out the blog. It's hail to the Redskins 559.wordpress.com. I'll get this typed out and we will get together sometime and get the video edited.
All right then, man. You take care, and as always, we love you here, and love, peace, and hell, and we'll be talking to you folks real soon.